Metroid Prime 4. I get annoyed when I'm bored. Do you know how long I was sitting here with this computer screen staring at me trying to figure out the rhymes for that crap? This is defense mode, switching attack mode. Let's talk about Metroid Prime 4 not getting released anytime soon. Now, as y'all know, a few days ago, I remember when I saw it. Nintendo just uploaded a video on the YouTube channel talking about Metroid Prime 4. And just like the rest of you, I thought, finally, we're going to get an update about this game. I wonder what they're going to say. They could probably say, like, this footage coming soon. And, God knows what else. And it turns out, they're delaying it. The game is not meeting up to our standards and qualities, and it's just not living up to par, and blah blah blah. And now we grabbed the game from Bandai Namco, and now we're giving it back to Retro Studios, which Retro Studios just had the game to begin with. But Bandai Namco is like, they don't make games like first-person shooters. That's not the type of game. First-person shooters are an American kind of game. You know what I'm saying? Japanese are not known for playing or liking fucking first-person shooters. They're not. They're not known for liking first-person shooter kind of games. That's an American-style game. When Xbox 360 was ruling in the 7th generation, because of PlayStation 3's mess-ups or fuck-ups, they came in swinging with all these freaking first-person shooters, and that's when they really became a big deal, and it's still a big deal to this day, not as big as they were before, but still something pretty big. And to try to give it to a Japanese studio to make a first-person shooter, I found that very weird. When, I first heard that it was going to Bandai Namco. Well, obviously, they never really confirmed those Bandai Namco, but who else was it? That was the only name that's been rumored. And it's all but confirmed that they were working on the game, but it's like, that sounded very weird to me. I figured maybe the Metroid Prime 4 is going to be like a more Japanese style first-person shooter, or maybe it's going to kind of be like Other M. Wasn't sure. But, now we know clearly that it wasn't working out. I mean, I think anybody could have told Nintendo, like, yeah, that was a bad idea. I think anybody could have told Nintendo that was a bad idea to give it to a freaking Japanese company that's known for making RPGs and making Japanese games. They're a Japanese studio. And Retro Studios, after Metroid Prime 3, the original people that worked on Metroid Prime already left Retro Studios a long time ago, which is why I guess Other M came out from the Ninja Studio or whatever. And shit, that didn't work out. That game, everybody shitted on it, everybody thought it sucks, blah, 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 blah. And now, because Retro Studios doesn't have the same people that worked on the original game, as well as freaking having no one else to really turn to, it's like, oh, we could give it to Retro Studios, we're giving it to a whole brand new team, we might as well just go to another studio. And what hasn't worked, that didn't work out Other M, and then they pretty much just put Metroid on hiatus. They put it on the back burner and say, let's not even think about it. And now, all this time later, now finally they gave it to Bandai Namco. And according to Nintendo, it's not worth. Rather than any other studio would have just, we already put all this money into this game, just release it, even if it sucks. We're going to release another Other M, whatever. But at least Nintendo was smart enough to say, screw it. And not only smart enough to do it, but instead of leaving everything up in the air, they actually came out with a video, came out and talked to the fans and say, hey, this game is not living up to our standards. And we have to give it back to Retro Studios because we don't really know who else to turn to. And that's it. Now, here's the thing with me. The reason I'm not upset or fucking throwing a gasket is because I never played Metroid Prime. I never even played the original Metroid game series. I never played Metroid because when I started getting into video games around the 64 PlayStation era, and Metroid was nowhere to be found. By the time Metroid Prime came out, I'm not really a big first-person shooter kind of guy. I grew up on platformers, JRPGs, adventure games, hack and slash. The open world, Grand Theft Autos of the world, and never grew up on first-person shooters. By the time first-person shooters became a big deal, I like GoldenEye for 007, but by the time it became a big deal in the 7th generation, I stopped. And that's a whole nother video I said I was going to make and never did. I need to make that video about me skipping the 7th generation. When it became real big, I skipped the 7th generation. One of the reasons was because first-person shooters becoming a big deal, and I'm just like, come on, man. Every first-person shooter is pretty much the same shit. There's a fucking gun sticking out, and you shoot somebody and blah, blah, blah. Just not my type of game, you know? You know, you can say, oh, you can say about any game. Say about fighting games, say about JRPGs and whatnot, but that's not my type. It's a more of an American-style game, but I kind of games to play and make, but I never really gave a shit about it. And so by the time it came back in, with the Wii U era and PlayStation 4 and now Switch, first-person shooters are really still don't give a fuck. The only first-person shooter game I own is Doom. And I like that game because it's more like, because all of us like the original Doom, going to hell, shooting all these monsters. That I like. Call of Duties of the world and all that stuff, yeah, and like the whole army thing where you're in war and shooting someone, I don't give a shit. And I never got into the Metroid Prime series because, it came out during the GameCube era, which we barely had any games for that. Barely any games came out for the fucking GameCube, and then by the time I think 3 came out with the Wii, I skipped that generation, so I missed Metroid Prime. So I'll try to, I was looking forward to Metroid Prime 4. Not as much as everyone else who actually loves the series or people that are calling the hype. I never really, it wasn't a big deal to me. It's not like I'm fawning over, like I can't wait for this game to come out. But hey, man, I'm looking forward to the game. Kind of like Zelda, I never really, up until Breath of the Wild, I tried playing the games, couldn't really get into it, couldn't really beat them. But I still admired it from afar. And the fans that get to play it. Same thing with Samus, with the Metroid. And he's one of my favorite characters in Smash. That's what got me into Samus. But, even though this does suck, and the fact that they're scrapping the game completely, Final Fantasy 15 style, not like, hey, we're going to grab what they made and we're going to try to make it better and move forward. Nope. We're going to completely rip this shit off completely, just fucking toss in the garbage and start from scratch. All the money been using all these years for that game, fucking holy shit. And now there's no telling when this game is going to come out. Fuck, Kingdom Hearts 3 got announced in 2013, right? We just got the game. Fucking 6 years later. Or about 6 years later. Metroid Prime 4, there's no telling. This game is going to probably come out towards the end of Switch's life cycle or something. Yeah. Like 2022, 23. Don't even think about this game, guys. I feel bad for you guys, but they really need to release the Metroid Prime trilogy. Really remaster that shit. Remake, remaster, whatever. Get that fucking game out. To get the fans, to pull the fans back in. You're already disappointed the hell out of them. What else can I say, man? It sucks. It is weird that they scrapped it completely, but hey, if they think the game they had so far at Bandai Namco sucks, then it sucks. What you gonna do? And they're going back to Retro Studios because who else are they gonna turn to at this point? It's gonna make the fans feel better. So they did what they're supposed to do. They should have done this to begin with. I don't know what the hell freaking Retro Studios was doing this whole time. I'm starting to think Retro Studios is a fucking front. Like seriously, I'm starting to think they're a front. I'm starting to think like they're like that barbershop in your neighborhood that been around for like 5-10 years, never has any customers, the workers there barely do anything, and you're like, how the hell are they making money? They have to be in debt. That place has to be shutting down soon. And yet they're still there. You go over there to get a haircut. The guys better take forever to work on you, to take an hour to give you the haircut. He's on the phone, freaking talking to people, talking to each other, stopping to fucking talk on the phone, stopping to talk to that guy right over here. You're like, it has to be a front. They have to be doing something. That's what I think Retro Studios is. What the hell they're working on for 5 years this whole time? What, freaking Star Fox racing game? That's what you've been working on this whole time? That took you 5 years to make? What the hell are they doing over there? Even 3 years ago when they first announced Metroid Prime 4. Retro Studios couldn't put this on their plate. They're that busy doing what? What the hell do they do over there? Freaking probably have like 3 boxes of pizza passing around, fucking talking about their wives and talking about that girl in the club they saw the other day. I don't know what the hell are they doing over there. Fucking probably have paper airplanes tossing to each other. I really don't know what the hell I don't know what the hell Retro Studios is doing over there. Probably over there right now talking about, hey, dawg, man, this girl the other day, dawg, man, she wanted it bad. I don't know what the hell they're doing over there. I guess they took time out of being useless for the last 5 years to actually work on this game now. But anyway, I hope that game comes out. Hope the game comes out as good. That's all I gotta say. I'm switching back to the fence mode. I'm out.